Vandalism and our responsibility. It was brought to my attention that somebody was out digging up sassafras trees out between holes 5 and 7. Two separate people probably didn't know each other.
No, two separate.
Okay, so there was an attack. It's illegal. They can't go up to a parkland and start digging up dogwoods and sassafras and things like that. The person that saw them, I asked him to snap a picture of the license plate. I have it. I can read it. If you see someone doing something like that, as a club member, you have several options. Number one, you can ignore it. Number two, you could try to take a description down of the guy, maybe an indiscreet picture, a picture of his car, a picture, something, some sort of proof, and I can take that information to the county and let them do with it what they want to. I don't think we need to be out there calling 911 unless somebody's doing something really bad, then please call 911. But digging up a sassafras tree is no reason to get in a dispute with someone. You could approach that person. If you did, I would tell you to please approach them in a nice way. Hey, guy, what's happening? What y'all doing over here? Oh, nothing, blah, blah, blah. Don't confront them. Just kind of, if it comes up in the conversation, you could say, hey, well, you're really not supposed to be doing that. And if they get irate, then say, have a nice day, I'll see you later. So we don't need to confront people. We don't need to get in an argument with people, but we do need to be vigilant. We do need to cover our bases. Take your smartphone and take a picture of these people, write down a description, get a picture of their car or of their license plate, give it to me, let me hand it into the county. It really doesn't happen that often. It's such a rare thing. But once again, if it gets out and this guy tells his neighbors there's a whole bunch of dogwoods or a whole bunch of whatever over on Castle Hayne Park, then they're all going to come out and start digging it up. So that's as far as our responsibility goes on that particular item.
Take your nunchucks.
Yeah.
Or I believe we all have drivers.
Baseball bat, bolos.
Look at Wayne Boss.
The Castle Hayne Multi-Purpose Trail, well, we're still in a little bit of a stall out on that. Honestly, I don't think they're going to start constructing anything till much later in the year. But as we talked about last time, I sent them a plan that I suggested where rather than cutting across 17 and 18 perpendicularly, that they go on down 17 and loop around and come up the right field fence. They seem to be responsive to that, so let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that they don't basically cut right through two holes and make a dangerous situation. The kiosk situation. Now the kiosk at Castle Hayne Park, I feel like, and I've talked to Rudy and a few other people, I feel like it needs to be updated. It's a 2-panel kiosk. You don't really see the other side. You only see the one side of it. I'd like to see maybe a 3 or 4 panel kiosk up there because we're going to be having a nice map of the course coming. We're going to want a place obviously where we can post stuff. We're going to need to put up a rules sign and some courtesy rules sign. So that's 3 panels right there. And then a 4th panel could be just a cork board for general whatever. So any of you on the maintenance committee who have some ideas in that area, run it by Rudy. Arrowhead, we are eventually going to need a kiosk out there. We won't actually be able to put it in the ground until we get the routing correct and straightened out and know where hole one's going to be and all that stuff. But I would think that something similar to what we have at Castle Hayne now would suffice. I don't think we really have the space to go with a big one, but a 2-panel one would do fine, or a smaller 3-panel. Heath, I know you are interested in helping out. Wayne, did you say you were interested in help? Okay, good.
If we have the budget for it, and I mean, if it all gets approved, why not just relocate the Castle Hayne one to Arrowhead and have a 3-panel new one?
No, that's an
in
idea.
Castle Hayne.
I'm glad I thought of that.
Wayne, you're smart.
It seemed like with planting those too close, they made it kind of small. They could have stretched it out 3 more feet for a little bit more money.
So that's coming. That's not going to happen next month, but that's coming. And I would hope by at some point this summer we'll be able to start actually making that happen. Because as we grow, we have to present information to the people. And all right.
Boss?
Yes, sir.
All right. Played with a guy from Charlotte this past weekend. And he was telling me about a thing they've got up there in courses, a locked disc box for lost discs.
Interesting.
He says they got a little slot in there, they got a little box, real easy to build, little lock on it, and it goes back to the club, and we get the disc. This way, if people from out of town come in and play, you know, they can't get their disc back, or they call them, they can't get them back. The club comes in, we take out all the discs, we do all the calling, we do all the getting the disc back to people. And this way, also, if they don't have names on them, we put them into a box for 30, 60, 90 days, however long, and people come up, check the lost and found box, maybe that's their disc. This way people get their disc back.
Well, I think that's a great idea.
I mean, I thought it was, I
You know,
really did.
Right now, we've got such a network of people, thankfully, that a lot of people do get their stuff back,
Yes,
but
they
I
do.
know that there's people that, if they see that, you know, disc box there, they might be less tempted to take the disc home with them. Maybe they'll.
I mean,
stick
just
it
drop it
there.
in and it's done.
Post up a little thing that says, you know, if the disc you found has a name and number on it, please call. If not, you can deposit it here and it will be put to good use by the club, or you can keep it.
But he was,
Something like that.
he was telling me that they had had a lot of success with getting discs back to their owners with that box.
Okay. I think that's a great idea, and that could be a wonderful addition. All right, pin placement rotation schedule. Dave George said he had an idea about this. He couldn't make it tonight. But those of you on the maintenance committee, obviously we're going to be having some more pins in the future and some more pads. We need a way on the T sign itself to indicate which T or which pin is actually in the ground. Now, our signs are made of such a material that it might be possible to get a little magnetic or a static electricity on those flimsy pieces of plastic that just sticks to stuff. And maybe a little red bullseye target or something that someone can literally just peel and stick. That's something that we got to kind of solve. If people take a little piece off and throw it away, it's easy to replace.
Well, if you get a rotation like you're talking about,
Or
couldn't-
schedule. Okay,
or
that's
a
another-
schedule of
that's right.
rotation, couldn't you just put something like that at the main kiosk?
At the kiosk, yes.
Because, you know, a little red tag sitting there, that ain't gonna last.
What we could do is we could have four, you know, I'd like to see 4 pins on every green myself.
One thing that
If-
I noticed in one of the courses in Charlotte that they do is they have a bolt on the actual on the T sign.
Mhm.
You have like two screws, and then which one the bolt is on is which one
That's
the
interesting.
T position
Got
is.
like a hole through it?
Yeah, well, like
the
it's
bolt
on the
in it?
sign itself, and it's just, you know, you got 2 screws in it, and it depends on which one the bolt's actually in, as to which one.
That's a
it
good
is.
idea. Yeah, that, you
That's a good way to discourage people from getting it.
right, you could just tap something in there and the nut
Yeah.
would move for,
Well,
you
for
know,
that,
A
think that's
pin
what it
placement,
is.
B
I
pin
think
placement.
That's what
I mean, both these
That's-
are on
that's
the map,
really easy
so
to
they're
do,
just
Mike.
things,
Take
yeah,
it.
down the corner, like it's either this one or that one.
Mhm.
Okay.
What were you saying?
Oh, that's what Dave was talking about. It was more permanent than just a stick-on thing. It was like a bolt or a nut or something that we could have in
Okay.
the short or the long to
Um,
identify it.
I was also thinking you could just take a piece of, rather than actually screwing stuff into the post, a strip of wood that has little holes and just a dowel that you move up and down, color-coded holes, red, blue, green, orange, and you would just, whoever the greenkeeper was, after he moved all the pins, he'd take the dowel out and stick it in the next one, and then you could look on the sign and literally see the 4 different colored pins. So there's a lot of different ways that we can do it. We'll address it when it happens, but have it in the back of your head. Let's come up with a bunch of cool ideas of way to do it, so it's easy. Arrowhead Improvement Subcommittee, we did meet. Thanks everyone for coming out. We got a lot of good work done. We're about 75%, I think, in agreement on everything. There's a couple gray areas we got to work out over by the hole 10, 11 area. Hole 7 and 8, or hole 8, I think, is a bit of an issue as well. But we need to meet one more time, and I feel like that I could say that whatever the committee decides will be in the best interest of the club, so I don't think we necessarily need to wait till February to come back to the club and say, do you guys like this? Because we've already got 12 people trying to work it out. Now, if we add another 12 people in, it's just going to be a lot of back and forth and debate. I think that the club's just going to have to trust the committee to make the right decision. Then after we meet, and we'll schedule that tonight, We're gonna actually, at the meeting, we need to go out there with flags or stakes with orange ribbons and surveyor tape and actually put the stakes in the ground where we want to do stuff, because I'm probably gonna have to walk them through it. So I wanted to be perfectly clear. So I don't know if you guys have your calendars in front of you, but I would like to do it soon. Yeah. Well, today's the 2nd. You know, we can do something this coming Sunday or the following Sunday, which would be either the 5th or the 12th. And then I would feel confident about, after whatever we end up deciding, going to the county with our presentation. So,
I know I will be out of town on the 5th, so I would vote for the 12th, but
I'm definitely open on the 12th.
I
Anybody else?
understand sooner is better than later as well.
Yeah, I got a football game to go to on the 12th.
Well, we don't need you there anyway. You're just a troublemaker.
Yeah.
That's not.
Well, I spoke to Andy, and he was wanting some results at some point in January.
Well, then I would say
So-
sooner the better.
What are we talking about doing? I mean, we're talking about the committee meeting, or are we talking about going out there and?
We're talking about taking the subcommittee to Arrowhead, going through all the stuff we talked about, and actually planting flags, stakes in the ground. If we're gonna move a T-pad, if we're
Right,
gonna move a pin, put it in the ground so that I can literally show them what we're gonna do.
the county?
Yes.
Or, because you asked me to do this, so I did that. And we
Yes,
took some of the
yes.
things that we talked about on this map. These, I don't know if y'all are gonna be able to see it, but, I mean, these are the things that we all walked through as the committee. Talked about moving Forrest T-pad away from the tree so nobody's hitting their hand on that. Here, these are saplings that are all in here and all down in here, that if we can transplant these saplings and separate 4 and 6 fairway. Can everybody see that? I mean, I know y'all talked about it. We also talked about moving 6 T-pad over, and then if we can put some of these saplings right there. And again, it's going to take a while for them saplings to grow up, but Wayne and I talked about it. We'll try to get out there and get a lot of water on them and try to get these things growing so that it'll protect 6 T-pads. So these were a couple of the 3 things that we talked about in this area, and then moving 5, 10, 6 or 7 feet
To the right.
to the right there.
Trimming out some of the trees.
Right,
in there.
just so that, and then the other thing that I noticed the other day is 12's pin is very, just like when we saw 11's. It's like this.
Mhm.
There's not a lot there, so we potentially need to reestablish that. But then we also talked about moving 14's pin, which we'll have to get probably approval from the county to do that.
Yeah.
But those were the main sticklers that we thought. Like I said, they're 75%, but we all came to agreement on these while we were out there. So, I mean, we passed that around. I also drew some of this yellow stuff here, which was some things that we talked about. If we don't get this land over here, we talked about maybe doing something else with 3 and stuff. So, but I'm all game for Saturday to go out there and to do the transplant. Did we get that okay, or?
I haven't heard back from him yet on that.
So,
Can we all meet out there Saturday?
yeah, I mean, well, Saturday's the Castle Hang doubles.
Yeah, Sunday is out.
Sunday.
Beach most of it's already.
Right.
I mean, it's the monthly, yeah.
It's their monthly.
As far as the calendar goes, this coming Saturday, the doubles is in the morning and the skins tournament's in the afternoon. So the whole day is kind of used up right there.
That's this Saturday?
That's this Saturday.
Has anybody put that on Facebook to let anybody know about it? I had no
I
idea.
don't know.
Yes, it has been posted on the
Website.
I was in.
I know the doubles is, but the skins.
I was being texted by Scott and DG and Lathan about setting up a time. Once
Who's
we
the
all got
TV?
together on it, I'm assuming someone posted it.
Who's
Yeah.
organizing the event? Who's
The-
directing it?
Actually, just the skins participants
Oh, okay.
are putting it together.
Yeah, but has the 4th player been identified?
Greg's not gonna be able to make it.
No, Greg can't make
I
it,
think it's
and
gonna
I
be
think it's
Rudy's
still
gonna
up, I think it's gonna be Rudy, is gonna be the 4th player.
Yeah, I saw
If we
something
need
on
the scorecards
Facebook.
to figure that out.
I saw something on
Yeah,
Facebook,
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
a lot
Stu-
easier about it.
Yeah, Stu's
But
got
I think Rudy is gonna be the eventual player in the fourth in the skins. According to what the scores are on the scoreboard, if you take and drop the 8 or drop the 4, and then 8's left, I think Rudy is the eventual.
Yeah. All right,
About the Amnesty.
I don't know, yeah, I don't know anything about that.
We're looking at AM skins, we're looking
Yeah, I wanna see
at
it.
It's in order, guys.
next weekend.
Looking at
Not this weekend, but weekend next.
That's monthly.
What about it?
That's
No,
the
we're gonna do it
castle.
on Sunday.
Sunday.
That's their monthly.
That's our monthly, but I'm not gonna let that hold me back.
Bonds, about scams.
That don't bother me
I
a
don't know if
damn
I can do
bit.
it Sunday.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's not talking about work.
Yeah, I think we have game
Oh.
2 on Sunday. I have to
He
be
was
there by
gonna cut the
like.
checks because he's the treasurer.
So you can't do it on
So I don't
Sunday?
know, I think.
It'd have to be early. Like
No, we're doing it on Sunday afternoon,
Yeah,
not
I know.
early,
It was great.
afternoon.
I would like to see it. The answer's important surprise.
No, I'll get back to you though.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's get back to the calendar situation for a second, and let's try to figure out, number one, when we can do the subcommittee, Arrowhead Subcommittee meeting. The 4th is out. You say, is the 5th is open for some people and not open for others?
I think I'm the only one that has an issue for the 5th, so I say you guys meet.
Can everybody here do the 5th, which is this coming Sunday?
Yes.
Sure. What time you gonna do it?
How about 11 a.m.? That's not, I mean, that's not early in the morning.
Afternoon's better.
That'll give me,
Is that-
that'll give me an hour.
Would you rather
I
go?
can at least come and show up for about an hour.
If early, you come. When can you get there?
Well, I have to have my kid at the airport in Raleigh by 3. So I need to be heading down the road, well, 3:30. I need to be heading down the road at noon.
Well, what about 9?
We could we could go 9 or 10.
But I know people got church, so, I mean, I'm not expecting you to plan it around my schedule.
If we did it at 10, would you come?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'll come if it's at 11.
We're captain also, so.
Do we have a consensus that we can go at 10 a.m. on this coming Sunday? I know that conflicts with some of you guys' stuff.
Yeah, it does, but Arrowhead, the park itself is more important than,
Okay.
more.
That's what I was just getting ready to suggest too. If we can't figure out a day to get together and do a work, man, I would say cancel one of these Arrowhead doubles or monthlies, you know? And let's go out there and get some work done
Well,
versus, you know.
It's really just us, and there's a lot of other people that aren't even involved with the club that come to the Arrowhead stuff.
Right, I understand, but it makes it a lot, it definitely would make it easier.
It's
That's why I turned that damn thing down.
just logistics now, so.
I think we're gonna get it this Sunday. I think we're gonna get where we need to be.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to go ahead and finalize it and give it to them, whatever we decide. So that's going,
Better, yeah.
okay, well then that's going down the 5th.
Man, I hate to miss our first weekly of the year, but.
Wayne whining again?
I mean, that kind of reminds me of something, Bob, if you don't mind me just kind of stepping in here real quick.
Just like Troy.
Can we have order, please?
Subcommittee?
Go to legal advice or something.
Here we go, guys.
Yes, Chief, you have the floor.
About the Arrowhead monthlies, are we starting to, accumulate points for the monthly for Arrowhead for an eventual end-of-year skids tournament?
There's some people that want to do that. It's going to require that someone take that information down and get it to the webmaster.
Right.
Now, I'd like to do it, but, you know, we've got a lot on our plate. We've got Isaiah coming up. I don't think it'd be necessarily a bad thing if we waited till halfway through the year to start it. We could have a 6-month points race. But I'd like to do it. That's all I can tell you. If the guys on the tournament committee can get together, and Drew, if you can see who's interested and lead these boys, as long as we have the information about who scored what, we will have the information to put it into these tables. for the ranking system and year-end points total. Do we want to do it? Do we want to put forth the effort to do it?
Yeah, I think there's a group of guys that are more interested in playing Arrowhead than they are Castle, and they should get the benefit of it.
I have a question for that too. Is there any way we could get an advanced group out there, like that pays out in plastic? You know.
Well, we do have 3. We got.
Yeah, I know we have 3, but I personally feel I am never. I mean, I am pro at some things on my own mind, and some things maybe in the future. But one thing, I'm never going to be a professional disc golfer, and I don't want to play pro cash payout only event. And I would like to be in this point stand for the year, but I think it ain't fair to play an AM. Like, I know a lot of AMs will move up into the advanced division, and a bunch of the pros will drop down. Personally, as a club, I say if you have a pro division, charge them guys $20 and let them play. If they want to gamble and be pros, and play and gamble. But I would rather play for plastic and fun and have a group that a bunch of the AMs can move up into and some of the pros can move into. There was 10 overlapping cards 2 months ago out there. 5 from each division to overlap. That's a whole division right there.
When you say overlap, what exactly do you mean?
Their scores overlap.
Yeah.
The first place of AM was tied with fifth of pro, and I was 16 in the division.
Nobody saw that. Is guys need to
You're always going to get that.
figure out. You know, if you're shooting well under par, play pro.
I didn't. I shot 2 rounds over par, but I'm
And
not.
if you shoot
Arrowhead's a little
well
tougher to
play
do that.
pro AM.
I said when I get to 60 at the castle in a monthly, then I'm gonna start playing pro.
What you're asking
Move
for,
up.
we have
That's
You
a
can do
personal
it, you
choice.
prove it to yourself.
Yeah.
we have 3 divisions out there already. And you're saying that you want a 4th division.
Yeah, I would like to see an advanced division, a non-pro but not amateur.
Our amateur division is, in my opinion, is actually advanced. And the recreational division is more like the intermediate / novice. That's the way I think that's the way I see it. In the advanced division, you're always going to have people who are in transition with their game, who this year they just got good. And so now they're winning and scoring high. And I got no problem with that person who's a very good player playing out the year in the AM division to go into the skins and get his trophy. I don't think that you should have to move up just because you're all of a sudden shooting really low scores. But a lot of these people in the advanced division that you feel like are going to be real strong competition for you, they'll be moving up into the pro division probably the next year. I can't see adding, I understand the numbers and the overlap, I just can't see adding a 4th division in there right now.
Well,
Okay.
I think there's other guys in the AMs like me who, they're not going to move up to pro. They don't want to be a pro division. We're not professional disc golfers. I mean,
I know, but it almost sounds like you're saying you want a division so you can win more plastic.
No, I want a division that is really competitive with a bunch of guys that are in pro now and are in AM now and can have a really nice competitive division and play for trophies at the end of the year instead of having us broken up into some are in pro and some are in AM, and we're playing against 2 other leagues. There's a lot of guys that are playing pro are never going to win pro unless they have that lucky time you're talking about, which I'll be one of those guys most likely. There's a lot of guys who are just whipping ass and AM because they're stuck there. And there should be a division in between where they all get to play together and compete for end-of-the-year trophies and stuff, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I agree with you on one point, but I think we need more people showing up to every single tournament in order to split them up with 4 groups.
Well, that's...
You know, you need at least 12 to 15 per, you know, so that means you're looking at 48 to 50 showing up for every tournament.
What I've seen at other tournaments and the way the place where I'm over there is if you have 3 to 4 people or more who want a division, then you have a division. If you can get them people that want to play.
Yeah, well, let me just
say
also
like senior
say
Grand
this.
Master, say there's 4 guys over 60 and they want to play together, division.
It's a whole lot of work.
Yeah, I
It's a
pay
whole
out
lot of
for
extra
I
work
know.
to add another entire division in, and you really seem to be the only person right now asking for it of the 100 or so people that I know. I'm not trying to make it, I'm just saying, you seem to be the only person asking for it, and I can't push the club in that direction.
Well, that's just because you're
got
right in the middle
get
right
the
now.
feeling.
You're
We
at
got
that
some guys
same.
over 62. I mean,
Well,
I push for
look,
division.
I'll say when I first started coming out to the monthlies, there weren't very many rec players. I remember one monthly, I was the only one out there that would have played rec. I played AM. Got my butt beat. But what was I going to do? Be a Divisional 1?
No, you can't be.
I won. I'm going home.
That's changed a lot.
Don't even play. Just
Yeah.
it really is.
Everyone make their comment, and then I'd like to move on, and I'm sorry, but
Okay,
we'll
no,
look at it in the
that's
future,
fine.
Max. I'm not trying to just shoot you down, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
In the last Arrowhead monthly, there were 3 rec players that would have won the AM division with their scores.
And if there was an advanced division, they would have been an AM and would have been playing an AM division.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, does that say, and are you talking about the quality of the player or the quality of the course? Because the course is gonna yield certain types of scores because of the fluke factor.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, you've got guys out there that are hitting 2 aces and still can't break par. You've got guys that are going out there one week and shooting 8 down, the next week they can't break par. In my opinion, people don't have those types of drastic swings.
Not how bad that's.
After we fix some of the problems at Arrowhead, you're gonna see the scores start to make more sense.
Yes.
Okay? And just as a final note, Max, I think at some point you would be fine moving up to pro, because then you would actually be playing with a better caliber of players and you would improve.
Disc disease, and I'm lucky to play once a week with my physical limitations I have on this golf course. But at the same time, I don't think it's fair for me to be stuck in a division with these poor AMs.
I do. I think you should go into the AM.
I'm talking to the guys who aren't going to beat me most weeks, and they're in my division because y'all ain't letting me move to it.
What tag you got, man? I want.
I think you should go into the AM division this year and win it, win the points race, and go on into the skins. Because you're saying...
Yeah, I'll play them. That's fine. I mean, I was just trying to get a more competitive group, a bunch of guys.
Get a girls 16 and under division, we can set that out there. And,
That's my division.
How do you play, and then get over that.
Okay, 10 and under. That's my division.
Because a lot of guys play reckless because
He's talking about his buddy.
beat bad. And then
I'm
they
talking
shoot,
about the caliber of player.
you know, like Jeff Roberts. He's scared to death.
I was talking about the pedophile factor.
All right,
Now, Cleveland, so he played death, and then he would have won and he would have been last cash, or right under last cash in pro.
But he was playing like...
Scores fluctuate week to week, too. I mean, Lathan, a guy who shoots in the mid-60s at Castle Hank, didn't break par at Arrowhead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, does that mean you should change divisions? Nah. Okay, let's move on. Point taken, Max. Tony, what's your email, please?
It's.
He doesn't want the whole room knowing.
Yeah, I got some pictures on this thing.
You got some basketball.
No, I just, there's like 4 of them, so.
4
That's fine, which one? Yeah.
But what is it?
xxl_drew@gmail.com.
All lowercase?
it doesn't matter. Emails, my caption.
The underscore is the most important.
Underscore, you don't feel that. You might
Not
get
case
some,
sensitive.
you might get some other
So,
Underscore important.
do we have someone here who has, moving on to the tournament committee, do we have someone here who has a monthly report information for us? I know that Kyle said he was getting that stuff to DG. DG's not here. Who was at the monthly? Who was at?
Time out. Did we establish a meeting at Arrowhead Sunday?
At 10.
10 o'clock.
10 a.m., yes.
We did. That's definitely.
Yes, sir, yes, we did.
Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Who is our TD for Azalea?
We don't, well, Drew.
We have an AM and a pro. So if I can find a pro that wants to kind of take the lead on the AM side, so I can play, I'll take the lead on the pro side. So they can play, even DG tell you it's hard to play and TV.
Oh, no, you can't
And I
play.
want to definitely give it my 100%. So
Well,
I may be
last
interested,
year,
Drew.
me and Fig,
Let's talk about it.
last year Fig and I talked about we would take the pro side.
yeah, that's
And
cool.
that never came to attrition, so,
Yeah. Well, yeah. DG took the lead, and me and Clemson kind of ran the gazebo.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Well, we don't have a couple people here that are key people.
yeah.
But we're still a couple, 3 months out away from that. But, so we'll have to sort that out. Well, we're not at Azalea yet, we're still on the monthlies.
Azalea's close,
The
so.
monthlies went good from what I recall. I think there was a good showing, the people that I talked to at both monthlies, they're moving along great. Obviously, our skins matches are coming up. That's going to happen this Saturday after the doubles at Castle Hank Park, and a lot of fun will be had there. Doubles report. Are any of the doubles TDs here tonight?
Yeah. I at Castle.
Give us a report.
A school's at 130. Numbers are real good compared to previous years.
Okay. Have any information about about the results have been posted on Facebook for either one of those.
No.
Yeah, she was saying something, about him getting that up.
Yeah, Kyle's got all the leaderboard cards.
Okay.
I've
Kyle's
been trying
got
to.
it,
I thought they were all in the monthly box, and I went to Troy's the other day, and they're not in there. So
That's okay, because we're gonna take care of all of this with that spreadsheet deal. We're gonna get all this fixed, because it is a real important thing, and it's too complicated, there's too many people, too much information that has to be passed. I'm not worried about it, the club's gonna function just fine.
I'll post them as soon as I can get the leaderboard
Thank you.
cards.
I played the first round and I left.
Thank you, Chief. Azalea report. Me and Tiny and Dave met before Christmas and put together a list of stuff that needs to be done, and I've got this paper for you. You and I are kind of work together behind the scenes on this. The first thing that needed to be done was to secure the gazebo and the course for the 2 tournaments. And I just got the receipt from them in the email today, and it looks like it's going to be $200 for everything. And by my math, I thought it would be a lot more. So they're giving us a really good break on that. So we actually have the reservation. I'll check online when I get home tonight to make sure that it's on their calendar.
That's for both weekends?
Yes, that's really good. They really helped us out on
$50 a
that.
day for the whole park, basically?
Yeah, well, they're 4-hour blocks, and it's supposed to be like $20 an hour or something like that, but we're, you know.
Boz, what are the firm dates then for the Azalea?
It is March 5th, I'm sorry, March 22nd and 23rd, and April 5th and 6th. The AM is March 22nd and 23rd. The Pro is April 5th and 6th.
I'm gonna be able to make that.
Either one?
Not the 22nd, 23rd. I want to be out of town.
So now that we have that, Tiny, we can actually contact the PDGA and DGU and fill out the online form for the tournament.
We're gonna go back to Duval and do the sign-up.
DGU.
I'd like to, because I heard it was really easy.
It's very easy, very easy.
You said 22, 23 for hand,
Mm-hmm. And 5th and 6th of
5th
April.
and 6th pro.
And when will registration start for that, you know?
It'll open
Probably sometime in February.
February, yeah. I think DG said the first, second weekend of February. That's when he usually does it.
So the next month, we got to get our ducks in a row about that.
Get
so
in
we can
early.
do that.
And I would go ahead and say to make a DGU account, autofill, all the information.
It helps,
Good
it
advice.
does.
It's filled in 3 minutes.
3.5 minutes.
So
That wasn't
Yeah,
when they
they-
were split.
That's not the split.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
and that was actually it was a minute and 45 seconds.
yeah,
Really.
M wasn't. It wasn't what
I kicked it off and I still didn't get in.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't get
Oh,
in.
see, I had the
It could slam
autofill,
shut again
and
this
just
year.
as soon as it came up,
Familiar
I
yourself-
went in,
familiarize
and
yourself
there was
with
already
the
24
website.
ahead of me, and I went in exactly the time it started.
My browser crashed as soon as I
So-
hit.
As soon as I hit, it gets
Yeah,
crazy.
You need to be on it, you really do.
Autofill,
I
know where
rebooted
the card is, and
and
you
then-
know how to work the website.
Practice.
Yeah, get familiar with the website.
Moving on, we selected 6 charities last year. They're in no particular order, but juvenile diabetes is first on the list. We already did some stuff for juvenile diabetes late last year, but I don't think it matters. To our tournament director chairman, tournament committee chairman Drew, at each, we came up with a formula. She had a formula, get with him. I don't know if we want to do this just at the monthlies or if we want to do this at every tournament, but January is going to be Juvenile Diabetes Month, and we'll work our way on through till June, North Carolina Food Bank, and then we'll start back over on this last 6 months with Juvenile Wounded Warrior United Way on through like that. So everything we earn in January from our side game, at the end of January, we'll cut a little check to Juvenile Diabetes. And we'll, you know, somehow or another, I'd like to put it on the web page of all our donations. It's going to be a simple list. In the month of January, New Hanover Disc Golf Club donated $67 to juvenile diabetes. I want that to be a page on our website that is like a resume.
We also have a link already from the one, Meg's Marchers that we did, that we all donated to. I think it was like $50 something. We do have a link on their website, and it shows New Hanover Disc Golf Club and how much we donated towards Meg's Marchers.
Good.
So
Well,
we
then
do have a link for it, so it is there.
I will let you and Heath, like y'all have already talked, I know. If that link is something irrelevant for us or whatever, we ping back and forth or however with that, then that's fine. Since Meg's March is kind of the focal point, then if you imagine the web page, probably on there somewhere should be Meg's March and a link to their site. Real simple.
Boss,
Yes, sir.
on the, in North Carolina Food Bank, whatever we do that month, not only do they get, or I would like to suggest that not only do they get, the side money from the club, but we also, that particular month, we bring a can of food
Yeah.
to enter the tournament. Just can of corn, can of peas.
I mean, you
like
could
that.
even do like a CTP. You bring some food or something. You get it into the CTP. I've got so much CTP junk.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll
I'd
ship the entire
be more than
year.
happy to
So
donate a CTP.
we've got
or two,
lots
or
of
three or four.
CTPs.
So then what we'll do is we approach that month for the North Carolina Food Bank, we'll have to go on Facebook and say, hey, and by the way.
Instead of $1 to get into it, you bring a can of food.
Yeah,
You get
I think
it to
that's
Now,
CTP.
do keep in mind,
That's a
when
great
you're
idea.
bringing food in, the logistics, someone has to then take that food to
I will
deliver.
volunteer happily to take that too.
It's just a little more work. I'm sure they wouldn't mind a check either. But both
Oh,
would
they
be
would love a
fine.
check.
We'll take them both. They love the
Yeah, I
checks.
know.
We'll take them both.
That would be additionally though.
I have a backup
I mean-
of CTPs still.
And I mean,
Steve
it-
brings me stuff all the time. I've got T-shirts, I've got water
Good.
bottles,
That's
I've
what
got
we need
discs.
for the side
and I
games.
try to.
Give away.
Yeah.
I'd like to do something for Toys for Tots like that as we get closer to Christmas again.
Yeah, that's always good.
That would be cool.
I've got plenty of this,
Yeah.
to donate to CT.
We need to get it. Is that
Sit down.
Hey, on all this,
Sit down.
isn't there any way that we can try to get together with some of these children with diabetes and maybe, teach them how to play some frisbee golf or
I think that we could do that. We
get
gotta
some
take it
wounded
one step
warriors
at a
out
time.
there? I mean, they can throw the disc from the wheelchair and whatever, you know.
Well,
good.
Meg's Marchers, Meg does throw. I mean,
Right.
we're in her dad's place right now, so it's she
Yeah.
does.
That's something
she
that
does
we will look
play.
at.
And I've tried to
as we
talk her to
get
come
more
out.
into this.
Right. Well, it's something that, I was just thinking publicity wise.
Yeah.
We should get papers out there, we get TV out there,
Okay.
and we could really publicize the club with
Yeah, but
that.
my response to that is one step at a time. Let's start off with just our basic stuff, and as we build momentum through the year, and we have that page and it shows what we've done, then we go, someone on the sponsorship or the committee, communications committee will go and say, hey, at our next monthly, would you like to come bring some of your people out for a 30-minute lesson or 6 holes? So good idea.
Well, the diabetes people could even go along with the monthly,
Mhm.
you know.
Exercise, health,
Mhm.
this, all these things we're trying to promote. So I mean, no cans of corn. No, some, you gotta health it. Corn is not good. You know that.
I'm gonna bring Brussels sprouts.
There you go. All right,
Legumes.
in light of what's
There you go.
left here, bylaws and elections are really the only two things left to talk about. And I think we could take care of that pretty quick. I'm gonna suggest that we skip new business. I'm sorry that we skipped old business.
No, you did all business. You got it covered.
Skip the recess, that's what I meant to say.
Oh.
And we go straight to voting in the bylaws and voting in our elections. Do you guys want to recess?
No.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
No, let's do it.
No,
Let's go with it.
Okay.
15 more
All
minutes.
right.
Yeah, do it.
So, the bylaws, we talked about it last time. If anybody has any changes or suggestions or any questions, voice them now. The bylaws are quote-unquote written in stone, but they can be changed in the future if the club sees fit. I would like to just ask, first of all, if anyone has any comments.
I think you got it narrowed down.
I read your changes on Facebook this evening,
Uh-huh.
and they're spot on.
I
Okay.
reviewed it, they look good to me.
All
I
right.
believe you got it narrowed down.
Okay, well then I'd like to make a motion that we vote in our bylaws as the final draft for now that we will run our club by like we've been doing. So I'm gonna put that motion on the floor.
Second.
Second taken. Okay, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any absences? Abstentions? No. Okay. Bylaws are officially in action. Thank you very much.
Don't hold back, man. You tell us how you really feel.
And finally, we are supposed to hold, we're going to move on to elections here. We've only got 3 people up for elections. I'd like to do this by secret ballot, but I just don't know that that's necessary right now. We don't have people running against each other, so there's no one's ego to be bruised. But I would like to simply, we know that Drew Price is up for Vice President, Jason Goodmurphy is up for Treasurer, and Troy Durham's up for Sergeant at Arms. Is there anyone who wishes to debate or add or comment on those 3 people?
Excellent
No?
choices.
Okay, good. Then what I propose is that we install these 3 people in
I must have told them.
by acclamation, which means unanimous vote, and let them take their office and do their job that they want to do so badly. So I move that we install Drew Price as Vice President, Jason Goodmurphy as Treasurer, and Troy Durham as Sergeant at Arms for the 2014 fiscal year of the New Hanover Disc Golf Club.
I second the motion.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Congratulations.
Was a choice.
Are there any announcements? Any announcements, David?
We never did decide who was going to be the Arrowhead Devils director for the upcoming Arrowhead Devils.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Kyle said he's not going to be there the 18th.
And a lot of us won't be there on the 18th because of the Myrtle Beach Spike Heiser event.
That's fine. What we're going to have to do is find someone who is on the tournament committee to step in and fill his spot. I think it'll happen over Facebook. Because as we narrow the date, it's on there. We ain't got a PD. So somebody will step in and do it.
You said it was on the
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. All right. At this point, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second. Here.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Great meeting tonight. Great
All right. You know what's less painful than giving birth?
Please take your trash with you if you don't mind. Pack it in, pack it out.
Do you want
You have garbage bags here.
I know, I waited.
I told you don't mind. Yeah, I mean, the more we can make it the same way.
Thanks, buddy.